Hello, everybody. It is time. Hello, beautiful people. It is time for ukulele, and we are working on today bar chords. Dun 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 dun. So let me go post this on our website. The website is jollyrogerukulele.com, and from there you will pick up the sheet music and find our daily schedule and 300 other pieces of music and all kinds of good stuff on there. I'm going to scroll down here. Today is Wednesday, and we are paste, shift, highlight, link, enter, edit, settings, open in a new window, update, and that'll get everybody crowding in here. We're also going to tweet our lesson today, https:// jollyrogerukulele.com, and lesson 9 I think is what we're on today, right? Lesson 9 seems about right. Lesson 9, did I say lesson 9? I think we're on lesson 9. Here, look at the page and then you'll know for sure. Lesson number 10, make a better bar worksheet. Lesson number 10. Alright, so let's fix that then. Change. Lesson number 10. Dun 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 dun. Alright, that's right. First 8 lessons are all one lesson. Alright, so there we go. I think that's got everything set correctly. Lesson 10. Let's change that to lesson 10. 10. Tweet. Alright, lesson 10 is done. And then today is Make a Better Bar Worksheet Day. It's a very exciting day. You get to hurt your hands today. Michelle in from Rockaway Beach or up there in Oregon. Let's see, Vic was cloudy, so Vic, Michelle, you probably have sun. Oh wait, no wait, Vic says partly sunny, partly cloudy in Eugene. So make a commitment, Vic. Tell me whether you're partly sunny or partly cloudy, because I know Michelle is the opposite of that. Sunny here also. Oh, okay. All right. So both of you got a little bit of sun. Linda's in. She's in from Colorado Springs. We're having a pretty nice day here in Colorado. We are, at least up here, pretty clear sky and about 50, I think. Let's check the temperature. Let's find out. Back in the day, before all this nonsense, you would have to watch the weather at night and then just guess throughout the rest of the day. So, all right, so 46 degrees outside, mostly sunny. Well, it's perfectly sunny. I think there's a haze, probably pollution. And let's see, that's car. Somebody sent me a video. I wonder what that's about. All right, oh, we had a failure. See, a kill day. I have to find out what her email address is. Let's see. Jan made it back in Lake, and she's a local here. The dog is howling along, and I do not think he wants to join the fun. Yeah, I could never tell when these cats and dogs make a big stink about us getting whether it's something fun for them to participate in, or they're like, please stop. I think most animals don't care one way or the other, but I do know when I started teaching harmonica, my cat raised a fuss going meow 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 meow. I can't quite tell, and then, since then he's given up on it. So I think it was probably in the beginning he was trying to match the sound, is my thought, but who knows with these animals? Let's see. All right. See, maybe there's a 10th cousins. That's funny. Funny, Jan. Q is in the house. Rob is in. 57 and cloudy in Texarkana. Going to make a fire and eat some stew. That's next hour, Rob. This hour we're going to make a fire with your bar. All right, let's get going. We got to. Today I want to run through the Make a Better Bar worksheet first, make sure you understand why that's important and what it's going to lead to, and then I want to spend a little bit of time playing some music out of the little book. Cottontail, Peter Cottontail's Tomorrow. I hate that. It's not that I hate the song. It's such an earworm that you're going to be glad that I waited until the last possible minute. But yes, you will get Peter Cottontail tomorrow for sure. I have it done for all of the instruments that I teach, and I pull them up every year at this time, and I get them ready, and then I say, all right, what's the last possible day that I can teach this song? It is an earworm and a half, so just be ready for that. All right. Whoops, I didn't want to make that go away. Let's start with the Make a Better Bar worksheet for ukulele, and then we'll do the same thing on baritone. This is one of the few pieces of music that we can't play simultaneously, so we have to do the ukuleles first and then the baritone. But the program is the same for both instruments, and so I want to make sure that you know what you're doing and why you're doing it, and then we'll do both instruments. So Make a Better Bar worksheet. You'll see at the very top it says PIMA, P-I-M-A, thumb, index, middle, ring. That's PIMA in Spanish. Pulgar, indice, medicio, annular. I think. I don't know how to pronounce them. P-I-M-A. We call it thumb, index, middle, ring. But on most music that's academically oriented and very smart, in classical guitar they call it PIMA. You're going to be taking the claw shape. Now, we were working on claw shape from day one, doing this. We're going to now take this and we're going to divide your thumb going down, index coming up, middle coming up, and ring coming up. Okay, so thumb, index, middle, ring. Nancy came in from Florida, 87 down there today. Like the roller coaster, cool temps coming back before the end of the week. Yes. Nancy, don't put your cardigan away quite yet. Okay, here we go. From the top, thumb, index, middle, ring, just P-I-M-A. If you have a baritone in your lap, just be doing it. You won't sound right. It'll sound like it's clanking, but it's not the sound right now we care about. It's this very steady thumb, index, middle, ring. Notice on my arm that nothing's happening in the arm. Right? It's all happening in my knuckles. Thumb, index, middle, ring, thumb, index, middle, ring. My hand is staying right above the strings. Nothing is ever changing, and that's a very boring activity. This is going to be the most important activity that we have to do when you get to more advanced pieces. You're going to be adding in lots and lots of decorative notes. Going to be just finding new and interesting ways to do chords, and it's usually founded around something to do with what we're doing right now. It's called arpeggio picking. So we're playing a chord, our wide open chord on our instrument, and then we're just doing a pattern with our right hand, thumb, index, middle, ring. Okay, and we'd be doing exactly the same thing on baritone players. So baritones, you guys go ahead and do that. There's going to be a conflict of sound. Baritone players will be in G6, and ukulele players are in C6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can't do this too much. We're going to train our fingers to act independently from one another. Everybody's going to be super happy. Keep breaking. You guys keep breaking my reconnection successful. All right, you guys keep breaking my software. Let's see. It looks like I'm back in business. All right, here we go. Sorry about the glitch. I don't know. I didn't touch. You saw I wasn't touching anything on the computer. It just died and started back again. All right. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index, middle, ring, thumb, index, middle, ring, thumb. Was it on here we broke yesterday? Can't remember which class it broke yesterday. So, once you start to feel like, yep, totally got that. My fingers know what they're doing. Everything is beautiful. No glitch there. Oh, good. There was a glitch, Q. One, two. Glitch in the matrix. Now, once you get that, now we have to do the opposite of this, which is a ring, middle, index, thumb, ring, middle, index, thumb, ring, up on the ring, up on the middle, up on the index, down on the thumb. Ring, middle, index, thumb, ring, middle, index, thumb, ring, middle, index, thumb. And if I was a singer, I would be right at this moment going, this is how I'm going to play ukulele forever. I'm going to hold my chords, I'm going to pluck my arpeggio patterns, and I'm going to sing like a nightingale over the top of those chords, and people are going to think I'm something. This is what Dolly Parton does. She has very basic chords over here because of her long fingernails. And all of the music that comes out of her guitar is from various arpeggio picking. And that's exactly what we're learning today, is how to get our independent thought process. Rings living its own life, middle's living its own life, index finger has always sort of lived its own life, and of course thumb does whatever it needs to get done. And so we're working on both the thumb to ring finger pattern and also the ring finger to the thumb pattern. There's lots more patterns, but these are the first two. Alright, so now you've got your right hand trained. This is where baritone players, you might want to sit out for just a second because this will turn cacophonous at your house. Okay? We're going to take your bar. And I'm going to stop on this for just a second. This is your bar. When we talk about bar chords, we're talking about doing this. Okay? And I start you early on this because so many ukulele players are like, how do I avoid playing bar chords? You don't. It's not possible. So let's just get a handle on them and learn and get them under your belt right off the bat. So bar, when it's 0, 0, 0, 0, like in measure 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, you don't use your bar. You can either just have it not there, or you can bring it up here and get it ready to go, but it's behind the nut. Okay, you're playing zeros. Okay, then we're going to slide it forward. Remember, good posture with your ukulele, 45-degree angle, resting up against your belly. Your thumb is out of sight. It's hanging out right behind wherever your middle finger is. Okay, and then I'm going to press as hard, squeeze as hard as I can, and try to get. I'm on 1. Good chance you're going to hear this. Okay, that just means you're not quite squeezing hard enough. The reason you're not squeezing hard enough yet is we've got to develop the 3 muscles that run your thumb, this one being the most important. I actually have a little bit of a bump there because I've been working this muscle for the last 20 years. And we're going to be building that muscle. Right now, you're probably getting kind of crummy, maybe sounds like this. And that's okay, just let it be crummy. Because you're going to get stronger and it's going to happen less and less and less. But I want you just to be on the 1. Squeeze as tight as you can. See if you can get some clean tones. Okay, and then the next thing we'll do is we'll slide up to 2 and do the same thing. Thumb, index, middle, ring, and so on. Up to 3. Up to 4. They get easier the further up you go. Okay, and we'll go all the way down. All right, you ready? Let's see how we do. Do not worry about bad tones. Don't forget it. Don't even let them be a part of your life. Just be like, oh, I made a bad tone, and keep moving forward. Steady pace on this hand, all the way up here to 12. And when we get to 12, pardon me, when we get to 12. That's when we switch our right hand position and go ring, middle, index, thumb. All the way down like that. Okay? Let's give it a try. 0 on your here. Baritones, just sit out for just a moment and we'll do yours. 1, 2, ready, play. Thumb, index, middle, ring. 1. Thumb, index, middle, ring. 2. 3, thumb, index, middle, ring. 4, thumb, index, middle, ring. 5, thumb, index, middle, ring. 6, thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index, middle, ring. 8, thumb, index, middle, ring. 9, 10, 11, 12. Now when you get to the high note, hit your ring twice. Ring, middle, index, thumb. Go to 11. Ring, middle, index, thumb. 10. Ring, middle, index, thumb. Ring, middle, index, thumb. 8. Ring, middle, index, thumb. 7. 5 or 6. 5. 4. Ring, middle, index, thumb. Ring, middle, index, thumb. Ring, middle, index, thumb. And then the 1 is the hardest. And then open. Okay, and that's it. Here's what we've taught. We're teaching this muscle to get tougher. Your whole hand is probably like, ow, that hurt. I don't hand out a lot of exercises because I know most of those exercises end up going to waste. This is an exercise that I would love for you every single time you sit down. Put on your ukulele, get it around your body, get your sheet music posted in front of you, double check you're in tune, and then play that. Okay? The reason is we got to get your bars strong and good, and this is the most effective way of doing that, is just walking them all the way down and coming all the way back. It's going to just give you this specific amount of time where you're really working hard on this muscle, and you'll notice if I'm doing this correctly, my bar is here, my thumb is back here, you'll see there's a gap right here, and that's the muscle that's sitting right here on my hand. I can feel it's pushing really hard right now. Is strong because I've been doing this a long time, and you right now, that's not a muscle you use on a regular basis unless you're a rock climber, and so you will have we need to develop that muscle, and the way you do it, yeah, Jen just says exactly that. Wow, that really tired my hand out. Okay, every day until it doesn't tire your hand out. I've been doing this about 20 years. My hands feels kind of tired right now. Okay, so it will never get where it's like nothing, but it definitely tires out your hand. The other skill we're teaching you is who's we? It's me. The other skill Gary is teaching you: thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index, middle, ring, all the way down, and then all the way back. Ring, middle, index, thumb, ring, middle, index, thumb. I can't stress enough how important the bar chording skills are going to be for you as an instrumentalist, and even if you're a singer, you're going to use bar chords. So both of those, that's important. And this hand here, getting this with all of its possible flexibility and freedom in place, is definitely up there, very high in getting you where you sound professional and where you sound really good, where you sound better than the next player over. That's going to come from your right hand, and so we're working on that. We'll have lots and lots of activities to do that, but I do want you to get it right off the bat. Those are two skills: right hand arpeggio picking and left hand bar chording. I don't think that there's a better exercise out there, and if it were me and I could come to you, if I were me and you were you, I would come to your house every single time you pick up a ukulele, and I'd say, and have you go all the way down, and then when you get to 12, okay, so that's what I want you to do. Now, baritone player, same, everything's exactly the same. You're just in a different key, and instead of starting on C6, you're going to start on G6, and we're going to do exactly the same thing. What I would suggest with baritone, you have these metal strings up here, right? That sound drives some people crazy. Those people, we need to drive them into the loony bin, okay? know if you can hear it. There's a little bit of a zip, 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 zip. Some people hate that sound. You don't hear it on musical recordings. If you listen to classical guitar players, they don't make that sound. But the truth of the matter is, there's a guy in post engineering at the recording studio who takes these off. That's his job, is to take those off. They exist in live music. This is something you'll hear when you go listen to live music. So this, when you hear that sound, that's the sound of life. Okay, and you should get where you're okay with that. All right, bar chord. We're going to put this on 0. Okay. By the way, I didn't mention it, but it's okay in the beginning if that hurts too much to take your middle finger and sort of crunch down on your bar. You're not going to teach yourself a bad habit by doing that. It's okay. You're not going to be able to do it all the time, because we're pretty quickly going to end up with this shape here where you're going to have to use your middle finger for actually holding down other strings. But in the beginning, it's perfectly fine to use your middle finger to crunch down your bar if you want. Now, baritone players, same exact program. Let's give it a try. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Move it up 1. Thumb, index, middle, ring to 2, 3, 4, 5. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index. We're at 9, 10, 12, and then reverse. Middle, index, ring, ring, middle, index, thumb, ring, middle, index, thumb. Seven. Remember, if you're sounding crummy, it's okay. Okay, nobody is going to ask for their money back if you do that yet. Keeping the pattern is good. Okay, beautiful. Rob is saying, hey, my fingers are sticking when I make this bar, and it makes me sound, makes a sound when I lift up. I would say probably in more humid climates, and I know that Rob, you were down there that's going to happen a little bit. You're going to get your hands are I live out in the West, right? And our thing is we have to put lotion on all day long. When I get ready to play my instrument, I wash my hands to get all the lotion off. I get in the shop all of the time, and I'm changing people's strings, and there's this big gummy, gluey buildup here, and that's from people who are playing and their lotion is coming off, and it's sort of hanging out on the fretboard. Not ideal, right? So we have to wash our hands, get all the lotion off, and then play. And then when you're done playing, you go put lotion back on. If you're in a humid climate, you probably have exactly the opposite problem. You're like, lotion? I don't even want to buy any lotion. And then in those situations, you're if there's any way to dry your hands, I don't know. I don't, because I don't live in those climates, I don't have a good solution for that. But if your hands are getting a little moist as you're playing, I don't know if there's really any other solution than that, than just before you begin a song, take a cloth or something, wipe your hand off, play, and then come back. I do think. They're nylon or fluorocarbon strings, they're plastic strings, and then we're taking our hands and putting them on there. And so, yeah, it can stick. I do think you want to work on that if you're pulling up and it's going as you're pulling up. Boing, we want to see if there's a way to avoid that. A lot of times you're just, rather than picking up and pulling it off and putting it back on, is just to slide down. And sometimes that helps. And so I don't know if I'm saying anything that's at all helpful to you, Rob, but I am aware that it's a problem. But having obviously the driest hands that you can get, I think washing them before you play, and then probably having a cloth that you can just wipe off as much in any sort of humidity buildup that's happening on your hands prior to that. And potato chips. Yes. And potato chips. That seems to me, that's the answer to everything, by the way. I'm, you know what sucks is I adore Cheetos, Fritos, potato chips, whatever, you know, anything that comes in a bag that's full of salt. But I'm at that age where if I eat too much salt, I don't feel good afterwards. And so I've had to deal with the fact that I cannot have unlimited Cheetos at this point in my life. And it's you know, at some point you're just like, why go on, you know? All right, but yeah, I know under, you know, when you are in a more humid and week in Denver, it gets a little more humid in the summer, and then I do notice my hands sticking just a tiny bit. And if there's sometimes you can't fix a problem, right? And so you adapt and try to find a way to move your hand up and down on the fretboard that will at least minimize the problem, I guess. Hands are real dry when you have heavy snow, right? Because when the weather's cold, the Texans don't know about this, but when the weather's cold, the air cannot hold the humidity in it, and so the humidity drops. That's why in the wintertime I run my humidifiers here in the house not all winter long, because there's no humidity in the air. In the summer, when the air warms up, it holds humidity in a little bit better. And so those of you guys in southern climates or in obviously eastern United States where there's a lot more water, you're facing exactly the opposite problem that we face out here in the West. So yeah, but like I say, there's probably things you're going to have to learn to do to minimize that sound. As you know, you're moving your hand, you hear this clonk clonk clonk, kind of blank blank, and so just be mindful of how you're moving your left hand, and moving it. I don't know the word for moving it along with the strings, and rather than picking it up and moving back will probably help on that. So yeah, awesome. All right, so there's your Make It Better bar. Let me emphasize this again. I have very few exercises that I hand out that I think that are just exercises. I took piano forever, and we never did any exercises for the most part. We just played songs, and I got to be a pretty good pianist. And then I meet lots of people who quit piano, and they have this sad story about their mean piano teacher, and they did lots of exercises. And when I'm taking guitar lessons. When I open up these guitar books, they're filled up with lessons that are not songs, they're just activities to do to make you a better player. And they're all kind of rather dismal. And I know what you can get the same exact amount of work out of, although a little haphazard, by just playing music. And so I really don't believe in handing out a ton of exercises, but this exercise is important, okay? So this business of building up the hand strength, this muscle right here, we got to get that muscle super strong, and the way we do that is with bar chords, okay? And in the beginning, you got to squeeze like heck because that muscle is not well developed. Nowadays, I don't even have to use my thumb at all to make bar chords, okay? Because I've developed enough hand strength in other ways. And I'm not even using my thumb at all. But in the beginning, you do have to squeeze like heck, okay? And so we got to build that muscle up. So that's a super important technique. And then your other technique, of course, is thumb, index, middle, ring, and ring, middle, index, thumb. We will have I have it'll be a 130-page book on thumb, index, middle, ring by the time I'm finished with it. And so it is important that we do that. Actually, I'm going to leave this instrument on today so that we'll sound a little different. All right, fine. There we go. Make a better bar. Every day you pick up a ukulele, start with that. Okay, you don't have to look it up. You don't even need a piece of music. And then you play your music. Okay, Jen, I was expecting you to give us scales to practice. No, you will get scales. We'll do that next week. I'll give you some scales. You'll get some scales, and we'll. Again, those of you with prior music knowledge, you're bringing in this incredible amount of baggage with you to ukulele. that some of that baggage will be helpful, some of it will not be helpful whatsoever. And I have over time learned which things you have in your bag that you're bringing along that are helpful, and which things that are not helpful. And it's not that I'm going to dumb you down and make that stuff not important, but I am going to pick and choose very carefully out of that baggage that you're bringing in of what things you actually need to become a fine ukulele player. I already know, okay? I was that guy. I came in with a ton of piano in my background, and there's many, many things you think about when you are coming in, and they're different. When I went to apply to the university, the first thing I knew is I was going to have to get pretty good at scales. I knew that. And guess what? Right on the list, top thing, you got to play this scale, you got to play that scale. And I've never done much with scales because you don't need to if you're going to just play music. But if you want to get into the university, you have to know your scales. And so I'll give you enough of that where I'll feed you where you need it. But you honestly, that stuff's way overdone when it comes to what's playing. The things you need to be able to do is make cool shapes over here and have complete independence with this over here. And we can do that through playing music rather than doing exercises. All right, so let's grab this little guy. I'm going to play the red songs first. Ukulele players, remember from yesterday, your A chord looks like this, index and middle. Okay, your F sharp minor looks like this. You put your ring finger there. Your D chord looks like this. Okay, and your E7 looks like this. Okay? That's probably the best thing. Okay, baritone players, I got my baritone for me, so don't look at my hands if you're a ukulele player. Ours are a little different. Here's your A chord. Here's your F sharp minor. Here's your D chord. And here's your E7. Okay, I'm going to play on baritone for a while, then I'll switch. Let's run through that 4-beat those 4 chords. If you're on a ukulele, I'm going to sound lower than you. Grab your A chord, ukulele players. We're going to do 4 beats of A, 4 beats of F sharp minor, 4 beats of D, and 4 beats of E7. 1, 2, ready, play. A, F sharp minor, D, D, 2, 3, 4, E7, 2. Let's do it one more time, or a couple more times. A, 2, 3, 4, F sharp minor, and D, and E7. If you're on ukulele, it sounds pretty cool, right? Because you're on a different one. Your tonality is a little different than mine. I'm playing a little bit lower. You're playing a little bit higher. Should sound pretty cool. We should be making a nice duet here. A couple more times around it. A, 2, 3, 4, F sharp minor, and D, E7. Okay, you keep strumming like this, and I'm going to change the pattern. A, 2, 3, 4, F sharp, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, E7, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, F sharp minor, 2, 3, D, 2, 3, 4, E7, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, F sharp, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, E7, 2, 3, 4, A, D, E7. You keep strumming, I'm going to change the pattern. how we finish up. Now, what I did, okay, I was playing the correct chords on here. You're playing the correct chords on your instrument. We're strumming together. Everything's going great. And then I switched, instead of just straight strumming, I just went and used those tools we learned in the last exercise to make a better bar worksheet. Thumb, index, middle, ring, thumb, index, middle, ring, or ring, middle, index, thumb, ring, middle, index, thumb. I sound super fancy that way, right? I'm just doing exactly what you're doing, except I'm doing my right hand differently. And so those skills that you're going to take into the rest of instrumental play on ukulele, and frankly, even if you're a singer, you're going to end up using those skills as well. Now, we probably had places where one chord or another was giving you a fuss, right? Like it's really hard to get that one on in the time before we switch on to the next chord. When you run into a chord that's really just going to ruin your day, okay, if I'm on baritone, A's not too bad, D's going to ruin my day, right? F sharp minor might ruin my day, but E7's fine. When you're working on a chord and you're learning, it's okay to skip chords. There's no chord police. They're not coming to your house. They're not going to arrest you and billy club you. You get to F sharp minor, you're like, gosh, there's no chance of me getting that on in time. I'm going to go to the next chord and get that one on while he's busy playing the last chord. That's allowed when you're learning. To be honest, it's allowed when you're a professional too. So there's times that you just can't get a chord on in time. Yeah, let it go. Don't lose any sleep over it. You got lots more chords coming. These chords that are on this little booklet here are the easiest chords to get a full cycle in. So all four of the chords of all of the keys for ukulele, A is by far the easiest to learn to get your hands shaped correctly, but it's not easy. For baritone, this is definitely not your easiest. Your easiest is going to be E chords, the key of the E, which will be the same shapes as the ukulele ones. Now, let's talk about the songs. Okay, so that's an exercise we went through. We practiced that. And remember, if you're at home and you want to get where you're just practicing it, it's Duke, 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 Duke of Earl. Duke, 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 Duke of Earl. 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 Okay, so and just sing that and try to keep the singing going smoothly while you work your way through all of those chords. You're training your left hand to do a new weird thing. It needs to be in this shape, and then it needs to be in this shape, and then it needs to be in this shape, or this shape, this shape, and then this shape. If you're on ukulele, if you're on baritone, it needs to be here, and then here. That's a weird thing. And by the way, look at that. There's your bar that we just learned, right? We just added a ring finger on. And then a D chord, which is really hard to put on. And then this one, you're like, oh, thank goodness. Okay. So we're training our left hands to do all these shapes. By the way, ukulele players, you'll be doing all of those shapes in baritone, same as the other way. Let's grab an A chord. Grab your A chord. Ukulele here, baritone here. 1, 2, ready, play. Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping? Brother John. Brother John, morning bells are ringing, morning bells are ringing, ding, dang, dong, ding, dang, dong. When you come to my ukulele class, you've probably been through a few YouTube videos where they teach you this, and that works, right? Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping, Brother John? And it's okay to do that. I'm not telling you not to do that, but really stop it. Just it's enough is enough. I've seen that video a billion times over the last 20 years, and it's just not. It's not sophisticated, right? It's fine. It's absolutely lovely. And then the plan is to go to lunch after that. But really, try to be smarter with your right hand. Let's go to page 10. Page 10, please. If this is going to go to the bottom of page 10, London Bridges is there. Okay, a couple things. London Bridges have an A chord and an E7 and an A. That's the two chords that are in it. That's why it has a green headline. London Bridge. I rewrote the end when I put this book together years ago. You know how it goes, take the key and lock her up. That was a phrase that was getting rather politicized here in the United States. So I changed it. I said, take the key and have some tea. And I think it's the right answer because it sounds way more British, don't you think? And so London Bridge is falling down. Take the key and have some tea. Have some tea. have some tea. By the way, you're a ukulele player, you can do that with music. We have no repertoire at all for this instrument, and so we get to borrow repertoire from everybody else, and it's okay to mess around with lyrics. It is okay. Let yourself be okay with that. Here we go. London Bridges. When you reading ahead, don't worry about playing every beat. Read ahead, figure out when that chord change is going to be, and be ready to get your E7 on when it's your turn. Okay, when it's there. If you miss the chord, don't lose sleep over it. Get your next chord on and be ready for it. Okay, grab your A chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. London Bridge is falling down. E7. Falling down. A. Falling down. London Bridge is falling down. E7. My fair lady. Okay, change to your strum pattern. Build it up with silver and gold. E7. Silver and gold. A. Silver and gold. Build it up with silver and gold. My fair lady. Change your strum pattern. I'm going to do an arpeggio. Take the key and have some tea. Have some tea. Have some tea. Take the key and have some tea. My fair lady. Okay, that's what you're working on at home, and is playing through this book. There's lots and lots of silly, goofy songs in here. I'm going to switch to ukulele now, okay, which will mean that we're playing exactly the same thing. And let's go grab somewhere in here, Simple Gifts. Let's go do Simple Gifts. OPQR. Page 13, bottom of page 13. Let's go grab that one. Okay. Same two chords, A and E7. And the nice part about this song is you stay on A for a while, then you go to E7 for a while. You don't have to change quite as much. Okay, from the top, there's no chord to start off. Tis and then you come in with your 4/4 beat. Okay, I'm going to do thumb down first verse, and then I'm going to do plucking the second verse. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3. 'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free. E7. 'Tis a gift to come down to where we ought to be. A chord. And when we find ourselves in a place that is right, it will be in the valley of love and delight. Now change to plucking. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend, we won't be ashamed. To turn, turn, and turn, it will be our delight, till by turning and turning we come round right. Okay, so theoretically, last night you played through a bunch of the green headlines to just get comfy with A and E7. But tonight, just go through the whole rest of the book. Tomorrow we're going to be playing a bunch of stuff, and let me just give you a quick overview. Tomorrow we will be playing the Make a Better Bar worksheet as our warm-up. We will be playing Frere Jacques from Monday, right? We'll play that. We're going to play out of this book for as much as we can, and I'm also going to give you a copy of Here Comes Peter Cottontail, so we'll spend a little bit of time working on that. It's more advanced than you guys are ready for, but it's Easter, so you have You have to take it, but it's not terribly advanced, and so we'll talk through the stuff that's on that piece of paper. So you might show up 5 minutes early to print out "Here Comes Peter Cottontail." It's a song that I like to not spend too much time on because it will get stuck in your head, and a week from now you'll still be singing Peter Cottontail, and I will have ruined your life. So I don't want to be responsible for that, but I will be. All right, so that's what the plan is for tomorrow. Tonight, play as much as you can out of this book. I will tell you for sure, 100%, no questions about it. Page 12, On Top of Spaghetti. We will be playing that tomorrow. Far and away, my most favorite song out of this little booklet is On Top of Spaghetti. And so take a look at On Top of Spaghetti. Spend a little bit of time playing through it today. And then anything else that you guys want to play out of the book tomorrow, come and say, hey, Gary, I'd like to play this song. I'd like to play that song. I was struggling with this song, or I was absolutely murdering Wheels on the Bus. I'd like to play a few rounds of that, whatever. So come with some ideas about songs you'd like to try out of this booklet, and we'll mix it up. We'll specialize it for you. That's what I know about ukulele today, guys. I hope that hopefully you're doing well. Next hour, we're working on 2 songs which are not brutal. We are working on Happy Trails. It's a little hard, and then Streets of Laredo, which is not nearly as difficult as the Happy Trails. Streets of Laredo is an old American song that it's probably not originally American. It's probably Scottish originally, but Johnny Cash sang it. And then, of course, Happy Trails, lots of you guys will remember from Dale Evans doing it. And if you're younger than that, you will remember it from a lot of times at ukulele strum-alongs, they'll end the meeting with Happy Trails, and everybody sings Happy Trails. So that's kind of a fun thing to know. And so we'll be working on that next hour. If you feel like you have some time to come sit in on that lesson. And then I will see the rest of you guys, everybody else, tomorrow. And we will run through everything from the week, all 10 lessons from the week. Remember, day 1, we go through 8 pieces of paper right off the bat. And then Frere Jacques, this booklet, and Make a Better Bar are your big stuff. And then we'll throw in Here Comes Peter Cottontail. We won't spend that much time on it, but a little bit. All right. Changing chords causes you to make a lot of monkey faces. Changing chords in the beginning is going to feel like, I have to quit ukulele. I can't do it. You don't want to think like that. Changing chords is really, really, really hard, and I don't know why it has become this thing in ukulele that we teach new players chords. It's crazy. It's crazy. They're really, really hard to do. So I get you started on it, but then all next week we're going to be spending time not playing chords and really looking into what builds a chord, how we create these chords, what pieces and parts of real music go into chords, and all of this stuff. So we'll be spending a lot of time on playing individual notes for melody, and it will really, really make you realize that you picked up the right instrument on accident. I did not know when I bought my first ukulele that it was the right instrument, and it is. It's an amazing piece of technology that's going to make you a great musician. So I'll get you all that stuff starting next week. All right, guys, off you go. Let's see, what did we say? Let's see. Jan says, thank you for being here, Jan. Vic, thank you, Vic, good to see you. Linda says, my fingertips are numb. Yeah, this is okay. This is okay. This builds up calluses. You got to have a little bit of numbness on your fingertips. That's okay. And Jan's off to get vaccine number 2 tomorrow. Whoop. Yep, you're allowed to miss class for vaccines. That's one of our rules. So, all right, guys, I got to unplug. I will see you, lots of you, I'll see all of you tomorrow, all y'all tomorrow, and I will see a few of you in next hour. Take care.